The other question I got this week was about DADGAD tuning, which you may have heard of. It's just an alternate tuning for your guitar, and it goes like this. So you're going to drop your low E string down a tone, so it becomes a D. So now your low string is a D, A, D. You leave G alone, but you drop your B string down to an A. And you drop your high E string down to a D as well. So this is called DADGAD tuning because your strings spell out DADGAD, D-A-D-G-A-D. I don't know why I say spell it out because it's not a word. Anyway, so it's a very common alternate tuning. And basically, if you're just new to open tunings, I think the best thing to do is just strum the open chord and then play around with like maybe one finger going up and down the highest string and just start with that. So just playing along with different points of strings. So that was, I don't know what scale you'd call that, but I was using the open, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 10th, 12th. I was using those frets and just playing around with it and just getting all mysterious and fun. Now if you're feeling good about that and you want to go a little bit further, just do the same thing but now double up your strings. So you know you're playing on pairs, so you're playing on the E string and the D string and just hammering and just playing and moving around and just strumming up and down the chord. And you can sort of pick around, or if you're strumming with a pick, it also works. It's not just the tuning and what you do with left hand. The main thing for this kind of style is probably developing a bit of a picking technique. So I'm just using my thumb and my first finger, and the thumb is doing what's called like alternating bass. So I'm just plucking on the D and the E and the D strings alternately. And generally what I'm doing other than that is I'm just pinching with the first finger at the same time as every other note of my thumb. That's the first thing to practice. And then you can start adding more notes in as you go and just sort of plucking out melodies with your first finger. And that's really the beginning of open tunings. And DADGAD's a nice one to start with. I'm not thinking, so I'll come up here. So when you're starting off in open tunings, you've got to forget everything you know about chords and chord shapes, because it's not really going to work doing normal chords with a retuned guitar. So the basic rule is just stick to one fret and just make bar shapes or like pairs of notes, but sticking on one fret, and find pairs of strings which you think sound cool. Something like this. So like we're doing there, I was doing the E and the D strings and just pinch them down. But what if I just switch over now and do the A and the B and the A strings. And just always plucking around with the open strings. And I can pluck around with that, so moving in pairs across those 2 pairs of strings. That sounds cool. And the other thing to do is just work out the scale pattern going up and down the string, whatever you're going for. So that was more of a sort of a pentatonic or minor-y kind of feel, but you could also work out like a major sort of feel. So this would be a more major one. So the first thing I'll do is the notes of the major scale going up an open string are 0, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. So now I'll play in pairs, but I'll stick to those frets I just mentioned. See what I mean? So you work out just the scale going up one string, and then you play in sort of stacks going up and down, covering multiple strings, and you're playing in open tunings. My guitar's buzzing because it's old and it's a bit knackered. It's not because I was trying to sound like a sitar, but I thought it was cool. It did sound like a sitar. Anyway, guys, that was my live lesson for today. If anyone's got any questions, DM me. I'll get onto them next week. Otherwise, I'm just going to jam a little bit, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks for joining in. Have a great week.